Hey guys, welcome to another video. Marcelian here. Today we're going to talk about the new talents and abilities that popped up with the recent alpha build for Battle for Azeroth. Check it out. So everybody's really hyped up with this whole Battle for Azeroth new alpha build that just was dynamite by MMO Champion and Wowhead and everybody. So everybody's going crazy about the new allied races and, you know, the story plots and the quests and the spoilers and all of that jazz. New models everywhere. There's like an MMO Champion, a huge ass page with all of the new models that are coming in and stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking, dude, what about the abilities? What about the talents? Because I don't see nobody talking about them. So of course there's a lot of stuff to be covered with a lot of classes, and for the talent calculator from this alpha build on Battle for Azeroth, I'm gonna have it in the description. But for now, I'm gonna look at the Ret Paladin because I know it's an alpha build. There's a lot of stuff that will for sure be changed until, I don't know, even beta and moving forward. But it's a good thing to look at these now and see if Blizzard realizes, you know, what's wrong, what's good, what should be kept, changed, and all of that, right? So I'll try to make a comparison with what's going on live and what's being presented in this Battle for Azeroth alpha for the Ret Paladin. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it out. Where's the... there it is. So let's go on the talent. Paladin, retribution, and here it is. So right off the back, I can see that there's some changes over in this area over here. Everything else kind of looks the same. They did mention that they don't want to do major changes to the classes. But one thing that we really needed as Reds is mobility. I'm not, you know, I don't have a problem with nerfing the damage. I know we do good damage, sometimes really badass damage, okay? But in order to do that damage, we need to connect with our target. And this is like a really big issue with paladins, because if we're fighting elemental shamans, mages, shadow priests, I mean basically every caster, maybe except warlock, there's no chance. I mean, we will just be slowed and kited forever, and that damage, that big ass damage that everybody knows Reds have, it's just not there. It's not a valid argument. So this is our main problem. It's, people say Reds are really tanky. Debatable. Sometimes they can be, depending on what they fight against. People say that Reds are actually more mobile than warriors and DKs. Maybe you compare them with DKs, maybe, but DKs have a lot of slows. Much more than we have. We have slows as well. But the main idea, you get it. We need just a bit more mobility, right? So I'm expecting to see something like this happening. Maybe nerfing the damage a little bit, but giving us more mobility to be able to connect. So let's see the talents. Now, the 15, 30, 45, these all look the same as on live, but just to be sure, we'll check them. So yeah, even the 60 tier is the same. Virtuous Blade, Blade of Wrath, Divine Hammer. Now the one thing they did change is starting from 75. So we have on the same row Unbreakable Spirit, Cavalier, and Eye for an Eye. And on the 90 we have Judgment of Light, Word of Glory, and Justicar Vengeance. This is really good. They removed Justicar Vengeance and from the Eye for an Eye tier, and you can use them both now, which is really good. Well, let's see if they made any changes here. So on Unbreakable Spirit, it reduces the cooldown. It's basically the same mechanic, but the cooldown is reduced by 30%. I believe now on live it's on 20%, which is meh. 30% is okayish, but I think the sweet spot would be 40%. On live, it is 20%. And one other thing, they removed the auto bubble proc, which I don't really mind. It was a safety net for Ret Paladins, but you know, I played so many expansions with not having auto bubble on. I mean, it's no problem. Okay, they increased the cooldown reduction, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough, considering that this you will take when fighting casters, right? Because Eye for an Eye here is no use. This is exactly as on live for accuracy. It reduces physical damage by 35% and instantly counterattacks enemy that strikes in melee combat. Okay, so this is on a 1 minute cooldown and lasts 10 seconds. I don't remember, is it the lower cooldown here? No. So it's the same. But again, this, in order for this to be more viable, I think 40% would be the way. And Cavalier, same stuff. Man, something more useful for mobility, Blizzard. Come on, you can do it. This is the same thing. It's pretty much useless. But okay, let's move on to the 90, bro. So we have Judgment of Light. Again, we're talking PvP, strictly PvP stuff in here. I don't know if in PV the same stuff will apply, but this is like other unusable. I never use this. Word of Glory is a really good option. It is not too much heal, but again, it can get useful. Sometimes I took it. And we have Justicar Vengeance over here. It's a good thing that we don't have it on the same row as they've said. The only problem is because we don't have enough mobility, it's gonna be pretty freaking hard to get 5 holy powers. That's my only concern. But we'll see on this row what's happening. So on the burst tier we have Divine Purpose, which is sort of the same. Then we have Crusade, and again this is the same. And they put freaking Wake of Ashes over here. Now this is not a burst, and this shouldn't be here. I honestly was expecting that this used to be our trait. Well, it still is on life. Our artifact trait, our artifact ability. So why not put it as baseline? I thought it was a really awesome ability because it did apply slow, it did put good damage on hit, and it had a dot, which was an excellent ability. I don't understand why they put it on this one. Maybe in future they'll remove it and make it baseline. Please. So let's see. Let's shot enemies dealing 1% of weapon damage, rating damage to all enemies within front of you, and reducing everyone's speed. Okay. So this is also nerfed, because from, I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, but the damage over time component is not here anymore. You just deal that initial damage and put the slow, and that's it. Let me check on live, but I'm pretty sure it's different on live. So Wake of Ashes. Now you see, you deal that damage, that radiant damage, and then you deal an additional damage over time. It's a dot. Well, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, we need freaking mobility. I don't care. They can nerf the damage to Crusader Strike. They can nerf the damage to Templar's Verdict. You can, I don't know, have this talent over here, which we always take. Just increase the damage for Templar's Verdict by 10%. But give us back... God damn it, phone, shut up. Give us back the old judgment mechanic from Warlords and Mist of Pandaria, when you judge and you get movement speed. And that, you know, that was good. We were much more mobile in that sense, and we'd be able to connect with our targets. We would still get kited around, but not as bad as we do now against, you know, casters. So overall, things don't look too good. Not many stuff is being changed. There are positives. I mean, having this row here is really good. You can actually choose stuff, except from Cavalier maybe. Having these guys as well. I'm thinking maybe a good combo would be Wake of Ashes with Justicar Vengeance as a build to be able to get those 5 holy powers. But this doesn't solve our main problem, which is mobility. And I don't know about defensives. I mean, again, it's arguable. I believe Reds are kind of squishy. Other people believe it's quite tanky, but it depends, man. It depends. We can do good against melees, but we're like naked against casters, especially LA Shamans and Boomkins and Shadow Priests. It's just forget about it. Well, again, I won't draw too many conclusions out of this because it is alpha build, and I'm hoping that the feedback is being taken, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Ret Paladins out there are expressing this concern, and getting that Wake of Ashes as a baseline and having some sort of mechanic to increase the mobility. The trade-off can be to tone down the damage. That's fine. I think every Ret Paladin would be okay with that. I'm talking PvP. In PvE, maybe stuff is different. I don't know. But here it is, right? So all the hype, Battle for Azeroth, that's all cool. But let's look at the abilities and what you're going to do with them. For now, doesn't look that great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and what changes would you like to see. Do you agree we need more mobility, or do you agree with nerfing the damage and getting, you know, more slows or something like that? You know, just throw it in the comments. I'll make sure to answer every one of them. Let's open a discussion. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one ahead. Peace.